All right, thank you everybody for being here and welcome. We're here to talk about House Bill 2887, which I sponsored and is being signed into law. What does this bill do? What does it mean for Arizona? Arizona, like many states, has seen growing adoption of electric vehicles. We even have our own electric vehicle manufacturing here in the state in Casa Grande with Lucid Motors. But for a long time, electric vehicle EV owners were forced to get one type of license plate, the cloud plate, while other vehicle owners could get all sorts of different specialty license plates. Arizonans love those plates. Over 10% of vehicle registrants choose those specialty license plates, and they have an important impact. Over the past 5 full years, they've raised $60 million for great Arizona organizations that have benefited them through this source of revenue. But EV drivers have not been able to choose those plates. This has meant that not only have electric vehicle drivers been deprived of freedom of expression for their cars, but so many great organizations over the past number of years have missed out on potential source of valuable resources for their organization. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the details of what HB 2887 will do. As with any implementation of any new program, there are some logistical details. Upon enactment of this law, sometime in the fall, EV owners will be able to choose a specialty license plate. Due to grandfathered vehicle license taxes for EVs, when they go to make that choice, there may be an increase in the VLT. The Arizona Department of Transportation will give some guidance on that. One of the reasons that the EVs have been forced to choose the cloud plate was that it initially came with federal carpool lane privileges. This bill does not seek to change carpool lane privileges as those are done on the federal level. But what is scheduled to happen is those federal privileges are scheduled to go away at the end of September of this year. In the meantime, for people who want to get a specialty plate and also want to be in the carpool lane, they will have the option to get a sticker, a diamond-shaped HOV lane sticker on their bumper. So there's logistical details, but the moral of the story is if you have an EV, choosing a specialty license plate will be your option for the first time thanks to this bill. There's lots of credit to go around on how this bill is going to become law, starting as my concept going into law. I want to thank Representative Biasucci and the Speaker and State House leadership. I want to thank Senator Payne and the Senate President and Senate leadership. And most importantly, a vast majority of my fellow legislators from both sides of the aisle. It wouldn't be possible without the support from so many of my colleagues, both Democrats and Republicans. As many of you know, in this state legislature, it's rare for a Democratic-sponsored bill to get through. So I want to thank everyone who is involved in helping this bill get on agendas and move through the process. Finally, I'm grateful to Governor Hobbs for signing this bill. This bipartisan bill gives Arizona drivers more freedom to personalize their cars and helps get much needed funding to great organizations in Arizona without taxes, completely at the option of Arizona drivers. For EV owners, for all vehicle owners, I want to emphasize what it means to buy a specialty plate. You can not only personalize your car, but direct money towards great Arizona organizations. Based on my conservative projections, I believe beneficiary organizations could see more than $1 million in new revenue over the next 5 years from this bill. And I'd like to invite some of the representatives from some of these beneficiary organizations to describe what specialty license plates mean to them and their organizations. We'll start with Ashley St. Thomas of the Arizona Food Bank Network.
Thank you. I'm Ashley with the Arizona Food Bank Network and just really appreciate this opportunity. In 2011, the 5-member food banks of the Arizona Food Bank Network, so that's Honor Health Desert Mission, Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona, St. Mary's Food Bank here in Phoenix, Yuma Community Food Bank, and United Food Bank in Mesa came together to sorry, my apologies. joined together to fund the production of the Hunger-Free Arizona license plate as a collaborative effort to increase awareness and support for anti-hunger work. And since then, this license plate has garnered nearly $200,000. These critical funds are used from everything from food to fuel for the trucks that move that food, to supporting our critical innovation work to prevent hunger before it starts rather than address it. And we're grateful to Representative Volk, the legislature, and Governor Hobbs for increasing access to this specialty plate. And I'll say that we think the only Arizona license plate with a pun on it, ending hunger one plate at a time, should be accessible to all Arizonans. So thank you.
And next we'll have Keston Zimmerman of the Arizona Future Farmers of America to talk about the Arizona Agriculture Specialty License Plate. Keston?
Hello there. Once again, my name is Keston Zimmerman, and I'm currently serving as this year's Arizona FFA State Vice President. And this year I've had the amazing opportunity to travel all across the state and witness firsthand the impact that the Arizona Agricultural Specialty License Plate has on our near 13,000 members. This plate is more than just a symbol, it's a catalyst for change. Hundreds of students have been able to receive free FFA jackets because of this plate. We've had new chapters start due to critical startup support. 800 students have been able to attend our summer leadership camp at no cost. We've been able to provide $40,000 in Kickstart support to our students who are starting their supervised agricultural experience projects, some of those even being their own small businesses. We've also been able to bring our Summit Leadership Conference to over 12,000 students statewide, and it helps us keep event costs low so that no students are left behind. By choosing your Arizona Agricultural Specialty License Plate, you're investing in premier leadership, personal growth, and career success for Arizona students in agricultural education. So, drive with purpose and choose your Arizona Agricultural Specialty License Plate today. Thank you all so much again.
Thank you, Keston. Next is Jim Unmacht, Executive Director of Arizona Sportsmen for Wildlife Conservation. Jim?
Thank you, Representative Volk. My name is Jim Unmacht. I'm the Executive Director of Arizona Sportsmen for Wildlife Conservation. We are an umbrella organization in the conservation world with 40 groups that are members of our collective. It's a diverse organization with hunters, anglers, conservationists, wildlife proponents, outdoor recreation folks, and businesses. We've had the Conserving Wildlife license plate for 20 years, the last 10 with this design. And currently we're averaging now $24,000 a month in revenue. Of note, in the last decade, we have awarded $1.7 million in grants on 260 applications. Those monies are separated from wildlife conservation habitat, conservation education, and youth recruitment. Of particular importance to us is the fact that less than 5% of our revenue goes to administrative and marketing costs. So when folks buy this plate, their money goes on the ground and goes to the cause. So I would encourage everybody, if you don't like our plate, which is pretty sharp, get a specialty plate, because Representative Volk is correct. The revenue and the ability for organizations to make a difference in Arizona is key. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next is Marie Dreyer-Kircher from COPS AZ. You want me to hold that?
Maybe not. Thank you, Representative Volk. as said, I'm Marie Dreyer-Kircher. I am currently the chapter president for Concerns of Police Survivors Arizona chapter. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization supporting families and co-workers of fallen law enforcement officers. We're all volunteer, none of us get paid. My former husband and co-worker was killed in the line of duty with the Arizona Department of Public Safety July 3rd of 1993. At the time, we had 5-year-old twins. I got involved with the organization after I returned from National Police Week that is held in Washington, D.C. It was in 1994. The organization gave me something that I didn't have, an opportunity to give back to others. I've been involved off and on with Cops Arizona since that time. The last time I got back to Cops Arizona was in 2011. I've been doing work with them since then. This is our mission for our chapter is to rebuild the shattered lives of surviving family members and coworkers that are affected by the loss of an officer. We use the monies to assist the first-year survivors to go back to Washington, D.C., where their loved one will be honored. We also reimburse the events, the travel for the events that our national office puts on. These are typically weekenders that help them in the grief process. We also provide training to the law enforcement agencies so they know how to deal with families of fallen as well as their coworkers. And some of them, for the first time, are having a line of duty death and they don't know what to do, and we can give them guidance with that. We also have a license plate that'll go on your motorcycle if you happen to have one of those. We think this is a very nice looking plate and would appreciate your support. And as I said, we are an all volunteer organization, a 501c3 nonprofit. And thank you to Representative Volk and Governor Hobbs for this opportunity and their staff.
Thank you, Marie. Next, we have Dylan Del Zotto of the Arizona Department of Veteran Services to talk about the Military Support Freedom Plate, which happens to be the plate I've got on my other car. Welcome, Dylan.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. That's all right. Thank you, everyone. Again, Dylan Del Zotto. I am the Assistant Deputy Director of Public and Intergovernmental Affairs at the Department of Veteran Services. And I also have 2 veteran plates on both mine and my wife's car, but I do not have access to the HOV lane. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity for Arizona veterans to now have more ways to show service and support to the community. This brand new veteran HOV license plate allows qualified vets to drive solo in HOV lanes, which is really cool, and it makes the commute faster and their service recognized. They can also choose between the veteran, women veteran, or freedom plate, and I'll say the freedom plate is available to all Arizonans. So the veteran and the women veteran plate obviously is available to the veterans, but now they have the opportunity to display their military status wherever they go. The best part of this license plate program is that $17 of that $25 fee goes to the Arizona Veterans Donation Fund. This fund helps provide housing, job support, and critical services to veterans, service members, and their families right here in Arizona. The small grant application rotates throughout the year, and it's up to $4,999.99. And then we also open up a large grant in the fall with much larger gifts. This year, we had over 40 organizations request large donations, and we upped the ante and gave out over $2 million to veteran service organizations to serve veterans, service members and their families because of this $17 that comes from the plate. So we greatly appreciate that, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you all for the important work you do and for explaining the importance of these specialty license plates. and really how this revenue is a unique and powerful source of furthering your programs. So again, this bill is a bipartisan way to help Arizonans further personalize their vehicles, but more importantly, contribute to some incredible Arizona organizations that really have come to depend on this license plate revenue. So for electric vehicle owners, get ready, get excited for this law to become in effect later this fall, and you will be able to make the choice to get a specialty license plate for your vehicle. To all Arizonans with vehicles, I highly encourage you to look at the option of getting a specialty plate to not only show your values on your car and show your style, but also support those values by giving to great Arizona organizations. So thank you all for being here. Much appreciated.